Hey y'all, it's your girl Jada J. What's up? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Now I literally just finished watching the episode a couple minutes ago, and I just got on camera to do this video. That doesn't happen a lot because sometimes I'll have to go back and like refresh your notes and stuff. But tonight it wasn't that bad. So I like that. What was that fight, y'all? With Wyatt, Jeffrey, and Justin. That's Wyatt just gets up. He's like, "Hey, stop!" And then he just jumped. They both try to get Justin. Justin was on his own for a second. I ain't gonna lie about it. I don't know where that's gonna leave. I'm not gonna get ahead of myself. But let's just say Veronica, she knows. Oh yeah, but it don't look like Justin is. I don't know now because okay, we lean toward. I gotta say this, just this one thing. We lean toward the fact that Justin and Jeffrey are now becoming romantic. Like it's not like if you don't come see me, I'm gonna do this, that, and the third because Justin was threatening. Now I think it's gonna go back to the threatening relationship because Jeffrey is now at that point where he's like, yo, that motherfucker's crazy. But Justin, I think he still wants the goods. So I don't think he's done with Jeffrey by a long shot. But we'll get into that because that was the last scene. So we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end. But how you guys doing tonight? I'm so happy to see you. And yes, I'm on time. Hopefully, if my camera, we're gonna pray that my camera works through the whole thing. We're gonna pray. If it doesn't, somebody's fired. I'm over it. So let's get into it. This is the Has and Have Not season 5 episode 8, Praying for Light. So let's go in. Okay, so we opened up the criers. Remember last week the cops bang 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 they at the door. So this week that's what we pick up. They go to the door. It's the DA George. The Jedi was right because I said it was a detective. And then after he said it was a DA, I was like, that actually makes more sense. So yeah, George is a DA. And so it's the DA and he's got like an officer with him. So they're like, hey George, they know him. Everybody in town probably knows the Criers and the Harringtons, so it's like whatever. So he's like, hey, you guys, and it's kind of like they were on that friendly banter type, like they were shady. Well, George was shady, and so they get in there and they're like, oh, how you doing, George? They're like, oh, I'm doing good and stuff. He's like, oh, well, I'm sorry to hear about your son in that Castile case because Wyatt ran over the little girl, Lizzie Castile. And Jim is like, oh, that's okay. He's like, yeah, but I heard they're testifying against you. Jim's like, yeah, I think we'll get that under control. He was like, I don't know, man, because Jennifer can be brutal. And Catherine is like, can she? And he's like, come on, Catherine. You've had to fire a few shots back at her a few times. She's like, yes. Yes, I have. And then so they... Hold on a second. Oh, yeah, so then he's talking to Jim. He's like, Jim, can we talk in private? And Catherine's like, this is as private as it gets. He goes, actually, I was just talking to Jim. She goes, well, like I said, I am his privacy. And then Jim goes, it's okay, George. Let's just sit down. And he's like, wow, this house, man. I love being in here and stuff like. And he's kind of shady, though. And so he's like, but the last time I was here for a party, there were 4 chairs. What happened? Why did you decide to change it? Like he really wanted an answer because sometimes you might go into somebody's house and be like, oh, wow, did you change the furniture? And, it's friendly conversation, but no, this was an interrogation. Why did you change the 4 chairs? What happened? Did they get dirty or something? Did you kill somebody on the chairs? Huh? All we needed was the lamp just to shine right on Catherine, and it was interrogation. That's what it was. All right. I wrote it in the script. Okay. So, yeah. George is like, why did you decide to change? And Catherine's kind of stomped for a second. I was like, girl, just say it's just your decor. You're just changing it for decoration and stuff like that. And yeah, she ends up saying something like that. She's like, styles, they come and go. She goes, actually, I was thinking about selling the house. Would you like to buy it? He goes, man, if I had money like this, he was like, I wish. And then he's like, if these walls could talk. And then she goes, why are you toying with me? He's like, excuse me? And Jim goes, don't mind my wife. She's just up and down these days. She's like, yeah, so don't with me. Like, they're just cussing. Like, it's no holds barred right now. They bleeping it out, but Tyler just like, you know what? I'm about to just write the cuss words in the script. Like, you know what I mean? I was on set, and I told Tyler, I said, no, I don't like this. I don't like it. You know what I mean? We're going to go back to how things used to be. Tyler said, no, we're breaking free. It's 2017. I said, Tyler, I don't want that in the script. And as you see, he's not listening to me because we're getting cuss words almost every week now. At least 1 or 2 cuss words an episode. That's what's happening. All right. So she goes, yeah, don't with me. And he goes, I'm so sorry about that. He's like, so what can I help you with, George? He goes, well, actually, I was hoping you could explain these photos to me. And so I already knew what it was. It was the photos Candace had of him in compromising positions with those guys and stuff, having his head shoved against, their bottom area and you know, they're on top of him and stuff like that, obviously against his will, but it was compromising photos. So it goes to commercial, we come back, he's just going through the photos. I'm like, oh, snap, man. I'm like, oh, I see why he didn't want those out. So yeah, so George is like, would you mind telling me why those were in Miss Young's safe? And then Catherine goes, that's how she got you. And she just laughed. Catherine thinks this is hilarious. She's like, well, my, Jim, I didn't know you were into that. And just, oh, he's trying to ignore her because his blood is boiling. Because she's talking the whole time George is there. Yeah. And then Catherine goes, that's how she got you. And George goes, got you? I don't understand. And again, Catherine goes, I can't wait to hear this. And he goes, well, she blackmailed me, forced me down in the basement, forced me down into this basement and had me in compromising positions. He goes, obviously, I was down there against my will. Catherine was like, I don't know, Jim. It looks like you might have been enjoying this. And she just going through the photos. She goes, Jim. He goes, yeah, I know. He goes, so you understand how humiliating this is for me, George. And he's like, yeah, we saw the video. And Catherine is like, the video? Oh, it gets better. And she's going through the picture. She's like, Jim, why didn't we ever try this position? I'm like, oh my goodness. I said Catherine has no chill. That's what the kids are saying. No chill. Okay. So he's like, please don't mind my wife. Obviously, she's on some type of medication or something. Just don't mind her. Don't mind her. Okay. And he's like, so she's the type of woman to blackmail you. He's like, oh yeah. And he goes, she's the type to murder. He goes, she's the type that's capable of anything. I didn't really appreciate this because I don't feel like they don't know the circumstances. Quincy was a murderer. He was going to murder Candace in cold blood and probably take Jeffrey out too, just because he tried to come up on him. So I don't really. He's like, she's a cold-blooded murderer if you don't do this, because they're telling him to wear a wire. I don't want to get on because the dialogue got kind of foggy for me at that point. I mean, I got it, but it's like jumbled because there was so much going on. He's telling Jim, I want you to wear a wire, because he goes, do you know where she is? He's like, no, I'm sorry, I don't. He goes, well, could you call her? He goes, I don't have her number, George. He's like, well, this is really important. He's like, why? You know, if you had the body and everything. He's like, yeah, but the problem is Veronica's on the case and she might challenge it. He's like, how? You had the body. He's like, yeah, but the problem is that by the time we found everything, Frios and Trust Bank, I think it was something, Frios and Trust Bank had possession of the property. Jim was like, what are you talking about? He was like, well, after 5 o'clock, her property was foreclosed on, so it was no longer hers. He goes, yeah, I heard about that. And by the way, when they're talking about the body in the backyard, Jim's like, yeah, I heard about that. Catherine's like, well, I didn't. And so they're just going in. And he's like, yeah, we need you to wear a wire. And we want her to admit to blackmailing you, so that way we have leverage to investigate this murder and find evidence on her. And Jim is like, George, that's stretching it. And he's like, yeah, man, I know, but if we don't, she's a murderer. She's gonna get let off. Like, I didn't like that because you don't know what type of person Quincy was. So I'm not really here for it, you know. And by the way, I want to say F Justin too, because when he was talking, we gonna get there. So yeah, he's like, the bank owned the property. He's like, they're going to throw the warrant out. Like, we need your help. And he goes, George, why in the heck would I want to help you when you're trying to prosecute me and my wife? He goes, well, I don't know, Jim, but these pictures, these are the only copies we have. And I would just hate if they got leaked, you know, telling him like, which I could maybe accidentally lose the photos and they might end up everywhere. And Catherine goes, wow, Jim, you're just getting screwed every way possible by men and women. She goes, what's next, dogs and cats? I said, oh my goodness, Catherine is really going in. I didn't feel bad because I don't really care for Jim, but so he's like, so how long will I have? He goes, well, she's going tomorrow morning to talk to the judge, but he goes, I know for a fact the judge that she wants is not going to be until Thursday, so we have a day and a half. He goes, okay, Jim, I'm going to think. No, he goes, okay, George, I'm going to think about it. He's like, all right, but don't take too long. And I thought he was going to say, well, if you take too long, I don't know what's going to happen to these pictures, but he didn't do that. He was just like, don't take too long. He's like, I won't. And then, you know, he says goodbye to them and he leaves. All right. So she goes, are you out of here? He's like, don't even say a word. She was like, oh, I'm going to say what I want to say. You're not going to do a thing about it. She's like, I can't. She goes, are you out of your mind letting this little girl take all this money from you? She goes, what does she have between her legs that's making you weak and pathetic like this? What is that? She goes, 4 years ago, you would have annihilated a situation like this. And now he goes, and he's like, you're crazy. She goes, no, why does she deserve to live? Why does she deserve to live after doing all this? You gonna let the girl live like this? You getting weak on me? That's pretty much what she challenging him like, you a man or what? Like, you know? Didn't really appreciate that. I don't want Candace dead. I like Candace, except when she's talking to Hannah. I can't do it. You know why? I think because I would never talk to my mom like that. So I think when I see Candace, I wouldn't be here talking to y'all right now if I did. Now, I know their relationship is grimy. We're going to get into it in a minute because actually they had a little heated exchange tonight and I was mad at the both of them. I was just annoyed by them both. Okay, so yeah, she's telling him she goes, you're going to tell me I'm oxygen deprived and crazy, but you're still letting this girl live after she punked you? She embarrassed you? She like, well, you must really care about her. He goes, you're crazy. She goes, no, not me. It's you. And she like leaves. All right. So yeah, they want Jim as an informant. Plain and simple. We want you to wear a wire and have her admit to blackmailing you, so we can get some more leverage and at least be able to have buy more time because they're gonna throw that warrant out. It's not gonna fit. You know, once he said Veronica's on the case, Catherine was looking like, really? Because she already knew. You know. So then we switch to Candace. She's at the hotel. We see her like she's like laying next to little Quincy. That was very cute, very mother and son. I'm liking this, Then what does she try to do? She tries to freaking just get up and leave. Kisses him goodbye and tries to leave. And then Benny is yelling. He's like, where are you going? And Hannah's asleep like in the chair. So she wakes up and she goes, where were you going? And then Candace is like, who are you talking to? And she's like, where were you going? She was like, I'm anywhere but here pretty much. She's like, well, you need to be going to turn yourself in. She's like, I wasn't going there either. And she was like, well, y'all both need to go turn yourselves in. Of course, they're still trying to act like they don't know what she's talking about, which is smart. I wouldn't want to get my mom involved with something like that. Hold on a second, y'all. My bad. Oh, and by the way, I want to say Catherine, because Jim was kind of beating around the bush. He was like, why didn't you? Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I almost missed the whole part. When he's talking to George was like, why didn't you just come to the police if the situation was that bad? He was like, at the time, I was running for governor and she threatened to go to the press. And he's like, so you understand? He's like, yeah. And Catherine goes, she blackmailed him for $7.4 million, my money. Okay, so she had to have something on him to make him do that. And now we know what it was. Okay. All right, my bad. I don't know why I just did that. Losing my mind. Okay, yeah. So she goes, you should turn yourself in, or else the police gonna come to you. They probably gonna handcuff you and stuff like that. She said, do you want your baby to see that? She goes, he's seen worse. And Hannah's like, I hope that you are not, you're just saying that to spite me and you're not actually that inconsiderate of your son. I hope you don't mean it. You know what I'm saying? I just hope you're not talking like that. And she goes, yeah, you're right. This is just like because Benny's talking. And she goes, yeah, you're right. This is just like the last time. There's no reason. He goes, reason? Because like he's saying, she's trying to say like, no matter what I try and say, there's no reasoning with you. Like you're not listening to me. And he's like, reasoning? Really? He was like, I can't even believe you right now. After everything you did, you're going to talk to me about like me being stubborn and stuff like that. And so she goes, I can't believe it. He goes, I can't believe it. Hannah's like, what do you mean you can't believe it? This is her. She's showing you who she is. Believe her. I didn't like that because she was egging it on. Like I said, her and Candace were pretty much intolerable for me this whole scene. Like my blood was boiling. I just wanted the both of them to just shut up and just not even speak. Like if you can't, because they say things to each other and it's like, that's your mom, that's your daughter. Why are y'all doing this right now? You know what I mean? It hurts. It hurts. I'm very close to my mom. So I don't like that. I don't like it. Okay. And just, yeah, Benny, she's showing you who she is. Just believe her and this, that, and the third, egging it on. She goes, you know what, girl, I know you don't care nothing about me. And you might not care nothing about your brother. But please show some love for your son. And if you ain't got no love, at least act like you got some love for me. Here's what Candace does. She goes, yeah, I'm a very good actor. She goes, I act every night. One trick at a time. And Benny's telling her, stop. He was already onto her game. He was like, you ain't doing nothing but trying to start a fight so you could slip up out of here. He's like, it's not working. It's not going to work out. He was like, I don't care how tired she is of you. I'm tired of you. And I'm not letting you go out there. It's not going to happen. So cut it out now. Just cut it out. So then Hannah starts laughing and stuff. Like, she's just laughing. And she goes, oh yeah, this is funny. This is real funny. She goes, they're going to have to send a whole SWAT team in there, huh? Just a whole, so you just gonna let them go in there and raid the place, right? Just a whole SWAT team. Candace is like, a SWAT team? Hannah's like, yeah, you're just a common thug. Like, that's all it is. And she's like, SWAT teams are typically used in hostage situations, and that might be what this is. And Benny's like, oh, well, bring them on then. Like, okay, you gonna get a SWAT team in here? Come on in. You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying, because she trying to act like she being held hostage. You know what I mean? I didn't appreciate it. And then she kept talking about she want to leave and stuff. And I didn't appreciate her shade toward Benny either. Because then she talking to Hannah. She got the nerve to be like, your son won't let me leave. Which, that's not your brother now? Like, like I said, Candace is my homegirl. Y'all know that's ace, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? Sister to sister. But I don't appreciate her sometimes. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. Okay? I don't appreciate it. And she's trying to assure Benny, I can handle war and this, that. Just let me go. Blah, blah, blah. And then she's saying, this is deja vu, us being in this hotel right now. And when she says to him, I can handle war, he goes, girl, I don't believe nothing that you say. Nothing at all. So why would I even be listening to you when you're saying you can handle war? Like, nah. And then she goes, this is deja vu, us being here. We were here when Quincy was here. And then she goes, now we end up back here again. And she goes, but you don't see the common denominator in this, girl? She goes, it's you. It's you, Candace. I didn't need that from Hannah either. I was just like, no, Hannah. That could have actually been a bonding moment. But you know what it is? Anytime one of them is trying to be nice, the other one is not. Like, I've noticed, I'm like, Tyler, why do you do that? It could be Hannah trying to be nice. Candace come out of nowhere with some slick stuff. I'm just like, you ruined the whole thing. So that's kind of what that was for me. When Candace was kind of talking about, because I'm guessing this was like a past situation with Quincy. Maybe they had to hide out from him before or something. She was like, what's funny is we've all been here before when Quincy was around. She goes, and now we're back. So I feel like that could have been that moment where Hannah said something like, yeah, that is crazy, huh? Like, or something I don't know. But instead, you got to point all the fingers to Candace, and she's very defensive. And anybody is. When somebody's trying to blame everything on you, don't nobody like that. So I didn't appreciate it. All right. Then she started trying to go in on Hannah. She was like, Hannah, does God answer all your prayers? And she goes, yes, devil, he does. And she goes, every single one? She goes, yeah. She goes, except one. She goes, and which one is that? She goes, the one I say about you. She goes, and what's that? She's like, the one where I tell God to bring you in. She goes, well, I'm here, so the load she goes, so the load done brought me in, huh? And Hannah goes, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. And then so she's like, you know what, daughter? Can't read my handwriting. Hold on. I don't know. I can't read it. But Candace ends up saying, she goes, you know what, Mom? No, I think she just called her Hannah. She's like, can we say a prayer? She's like, please say a prayer. She goes, I'll do the honors. She goes, oh, Lord, can you tell me who my daddy is? Whoo, Lord, can you tell me who my daddy is? She goes, Hannah, do you know who my daddy is? I said, please slap her. I wanted hot water thrown in Candace's face. Yes, I wanted that. I wanted it. All right. Been a shame, mess up that pretty face. Been a shame. But it was just so disrespectful. You know what I mean? I didn't appreciate it. And then she goes, can you tell me my daddy is? And Hannah's like, no, I can't. She goes, I didn't think so. She goes, I guess that's the only prayer that God won't answer, right? And she goes, but you're trying to tell me how to raise my child. She goes, yes, I am. Because you know better. I taught you better. And I know you know right from wrong, but you're just heck bent on doing the wrong thing. She goes, no, I'm heck bent on doing the wrong thing all the time. Like, why do you do that? I don't understand that. You say things to make yourself look bad because you know it makes your mom upset. Because she knows that you're better than that. I just don't like that. And then with Hannah, it's like Candace will already feel bad about something, and then you keep making her feel like a even more terrible person. Like, I can't now. She making mistakes. Why you gotta penalize her for that? And Hannah, we know Hannah got a steep past. Obviously, you were doing a little bit of jumping from bed to bed because you don't know who her father is. So come on, Hannah. Come on now. I just don't like it with those two. I can't. I'm not taking sides. I know some of y'all hate Hannah, and I know some of y'all don't like Candace. I'm saying I got love and respect for the both of them. You feel me? They live right up the street. You know what I mean? They do live up the street. Okay, I was just up there, got me a plate from Hannah house yesterday. You feel me? I still got leftovers in the fridge. Moving on. So Hannah, yeah. So she goes, yeah, you're heckling on doing the wrong thing all the time. She's like, and look at what it's doing to you. It's breaking you all up inside. She goes, did you kill somebody? She goes, what did y'all do? She's talking to both of them now, Benny and her. She's like, did you guys kill somebody? She was like, okay, go ahead and ignore me. Go ahead. And she gets up, throws the Bible on the table, like, Candace, read that. Gets her purse and stuff, and Benny's like, where are you going? She's like, where's your bracelet, Benny? He's like, Mom, and she's like, you tell me, I'll tell you. She goes, that's what I thought. She leaves. Okay, then we see her speeding off in that car. Then we go back into the hotel room, and Candace is like, I know you don't think I'm going to sit here while she goes to turn me in. Benny's like, she's not going to do that. She's not going to do that. She pretty much just saying, just let me go, Benny. I don't want to be here. I'm not going to be a sitting duck. She's going to turn me in. And he's like, no, she's not. And he's like, come on, Candace. She's like, I don't want to be in this situation again. And he's like, well, realize, Candace, this is the same circle with different people. Everybody's different. He's like, but guess what? Except you. And she's like, you know what? You sound just like your mother. He was like, did you ever think that maybe she's right? She's like, no, I haven't thought about that. He was like, well, maybe you should, because she is right. You know what I'm saying? So then she was like, you know what? You're not going to let me leave? She like, all right, goes to the bathroom. What she do? It goes to commercial. And no. And then he goes, see what happens when you try to leave. See what happens when you try to leave. She like, oh, so you saying you gonna manhandle me? He's like a mother. I said, what is wrong with y'all in these cuss words? So then she like, in front of my baby. And I didn't like that she did that, because which you was definitely kissed your baby and was about to go. So I didn't really appreciate, in front of my baby. Are you serious? And then you said that because you thought maybe he was going to feel some type of way about it. But all he did was say, yeah, if I have to, I will. Like, that's all he said. Then she was like, okay, that's what you want to do. And then she goes to the bathroom. He was like, it ain't no exit in there either. So I don't know what she's trying to do in there. Closes the door. She calls Erica. She's on a date with David when Candace calls her. So she's like, I'm not going to pick it up. You know, I thought it was off. I'm sorry. He's like, it's okay. You can get it. I always have to get mine and stuff. She's like, are you sure? He's like, yeah. So she goes and takes it. And, you know, she's like, hey. And she's asking Candace all these questions, like, you know, are you okay? She's like, yeah. She's like, where are you at? She's like, girl, I'm at this dump motel. She's like, this dump motel? She like, yeah. She like, where are you at? Are you still in Savannah? She like, I think so. Why are you asking me all this question? She's like, because I worry about you, girl. I said, Erica, bye. We already know you snaky. We're over you. All right. We just want to figure out to what degree we're over you. So yeah, she goes, you didn't tell him. She goes, I'm on a date with David, because she didn't know. And she goes, you didn't throw him off or anything by saying I was your sister, right? Because that could be verified. Like, you could check and see. So she's like, no, I didn't tell him anything like that. She goes, good. She goes, and don't tell him anything when you get back to the table, because that drives men crazy. And she's like, all right, I'm not going to say who I was on the phone with then. So then she's talking to her. She's like, yeah, so Benny is not letting me out this hotel room, but he's got to go to sleep sometime. But from you, I'm going to need some clothes. She goes, maybe some hair and some quick cash. She goes, okay, we'll just drive by my apartment. She goes, I can't go over there. She's like, why? She goes, that's Ward's neighborhood. She's like, okay, they pretty much do this whole thing where, okay, get to the hotel, but try to be there before me and David get there, because I don't want him to see you, because he doesn't know that we know each other, and that's definitely going to look suspicious. He don't like you. Okay, she didn't say that, but we know. Okay, so she's like, it'll all be on the bedstand. She's like, could you leave it on the bedstand? If I can't come to the hotel when you're actually there, because she's like, me and David probably won't be back for like a little bit or whatever. Just try to get there before we do. And she's like, okay. And then they hang up the phone. And she goes, and text me, so I don't want you to run into him. Yeah. Okay. So, and then she asks her, she's like, so where are you gonna work, you know, from now on and stuff? She was like, girl, I was looking at the Artesian, I was looking at the clientele, and they have better look, a lot, you know, their clientele is a much higher than the clientele at the Sarandis. She's like, yeah, girl, I know this is a great place and this, that. And she's like, all right, well, come get the stuff, whatever. She goes, okay, thanks, bye. They hang up. She goes back to the table. He's like, is everything okay? She goes, yeah, it's fine. And you can tell he's looking, he's thinking she's going to say who she was on the phone with, but she takes Candace's advice and doesn't. She's like, oh yeah, everything's fine. He's like, are you sure? And then she's like, yeah. She goes, how's the wine? He's like, it's good, but actually I think I want something stronger. She's like, well, let's do it. Like, he's like, you sure you don't have to go to work in the morning? She's like, no, I set my own hours. And he's like, oh, then you really wouldn't mind something stronger. She like, I thought you never asked. Gets the waiter. Okay, they about to drink it up to the cows come home. I'm like, whoa, David. And for what they tease for next week, I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate it. Then we switched to Jeffrey. When I tell you, I was like, what is this? I was more than shocked when I seen this scene. It was shocking. Anyway, so we switched to Jeffrey, and he laying up in bed with Justin. All right. Justin is whipped. Okay, he's telling Jeffrey, he goes, I never thought I'd say this, but, I love this. I love being with you, and I'm sorry about how our relationship started, and, thanks for changing me and this, that. And Jeffrey's just quiet, like, he's not saying anything. He's like, whatever. And Justin is like, this is the part where you say thank you and I'm sorry too. And then he's like, okay, well, he kind of like tries to imitate Jeffrey. He's like, oh, well, what are you sorry about? He's like, I'm sorry about how this relationship started. And, stuff like, I'm sorry about that. Sorry. And so he tries to like move closer to Jeffrey because they're like laying on opposite sides of the bed. And Jeffrey's like, nah, dude, you need to get up out of here. Justin's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, man, let's not try and act like this is anything more than what it is. He's like, I'm going to jail. Okay. We ain't doing nothing, And he's like, just say it was her. And Jeffrey is like, what? And I'm PO'd because Jeffrey is so impressionable that I feel like he would consider that. And nah. Okay, because then he's like, I can't do that. And he's like, why not? Why do you have to tell the truth? And Jeffrey's like, because I was there. Like, I can't just say I wasn't. He's like, I can't do that to her. He was like, why not? He was like, Jeffrey, that girl don't care about nothing but herself. I mean, he was right. But Candace is not a backstabber unless she feels like you're doing it to her. Most of the time. Because sometimes she might just stab you in your back. But not Jeffrey, because they ace boom boom. And he killed Quincy trying to protect her. So what type of effed up stuff would that be? So yeah, he telling him like, you know what? Nah, I just want you to leave. I'm done with it. And it's like, he's like, no, I'm not leaving. He's like, then I'm gonna leave. He's like, no, you're not. Like, I'm not. And he's trying to grab on him, like, no, you're not leaving. And Jeffrey's like, stop. And his phone rings. It's Wyatt. So he's like, what the heck? And then Justin is like, what is it? He's like, my friend is in trouble. Like, I gotta go. And he's like, oh, I'm coming with you. He's like, no, you're not. He was like, I'm a cop. I'm coming with you. That's where that I could do what I want attitude kicked in. That's not working. But okay, so Jeffrey's like, gives him this look like whatever. They bounce up out of there. All right. So then we switch to war, and in comes Hannah. And Boris, we find out his name is the guy who's at the door, like one of the bouncers, one of his boys, is like, you can't come in here. She like, Boris, if you don't get out my way before I tell your mama. Okay, appreciated that. Even the hood dudes got their mamas. All right. And they scared of their mom because he sure enough got out the way. And then Will was like, it's cool, let her in. And so he's like, how you doing, Mama Hannah? She's like, not too good. I just wanted to talk to you. And he's got like smoking weed when he's talking. She's like, and put that out. He's like, okay. He's like, okay. He puts it out. And she's like, so Warwick, I hear you got this head out on Candace. Like, what's going on? And he's like, Mama Hannah? She's like, nah, I think you could tell me. But, this is my daughter. You could tell me about this. Like, what happened? You can't do this. You can't, He goes, what did she do? He goes, because you don't understand. She crossed me. She goes, what did she do? He goes, I don't think I need to tell you that. She like, come on. He's like, all right. She stole from me. She was like, come on, War. She not no good. Didn't like that either. I didn't like it. She goes, she not no good. She does that stuff to everybody, whatever. He like, yeah, I know. I should have knew better and stuff like that. He's like, but this is not right. And she goes, come on. The police are looking for her. He like, yeah, I heard about that. She was like, so just like let it be then. Why do you have to do this? He was like, it's a code around here. Like, you don't understand. I have to do this or else these guys around, they gonna take me out for going soft and all this, that. She's like, you can't do this work. I raised you. And he's calling her mom and stuff like that. Almost made me tear up. But then I just lost it because he wasn't feeling no type of, he was feeling remorse, but it was still like, nah, I'm gonna need to go ahead and kill her. Like, it is what it is. She's telling him like, she messes over everybody. And she goes, what was it? How much did she steal? He goes, well, actually, we had a deal and she lied about what she was supposed to give me. She goes, so you want your illegal portion of whatever it was, huh? He's like, you don't get it. She crossed me. I never would have did that to her and stuff like this. And just, She goes, come on, what are you gonna do? Like, after he mentioned the code, she goes, okay, so what do you have to do? You have to beat her up? What are you telling me right now? What are you telling me? He's like, nah. She's like, then what is it? He's like, I can't say. She's like, you're not gonna kill her. He goes, Mama Hannah, I'm sorry. He's like, I can't say. She's like, you're really gonna do this? She goes, I raised you. I put food on the table for you. I did all of that. It don't mean nothing. He's like, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. And she's like, I don't believe you. Don't say it if you don't mean it. And then he goes, why would you even care? You don't got nothing to do with her anyway. She goes, why would I care? She came for me. I'm always going to love her no matter how much we fight and argue. I love her. She's mine. She's mine. I take care of her. Just like I'll take care of you. And you're mine, and I would be doing the same thing like if this happened to you and stuff like that. And then she's like, I can't believe this. And, he's just saying, he's like, I'm sorry. She's like, you got to stop this. And she grabs his face. She's like, you got to stop this. You can't do this. He's just like, I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. She's like, okay. And then she goes, it really don't mean nothing, huh? All I did for you? I'm sorry. And she leaves. And he tells one of his boys, Boris, he goes, follow her. She's going to her. I said, oh my goodness. He goes, I got you. I said, get the F out of here, Boris, before I tell your mama. All right. Then he starts smoking again. And there's like these guys, like they're just standing there, like his goons or whatever. And he goes, man, what the heck y'all looking at? He was like, y'all better get someplace. He's find something to do. He was like, get the heck up out of my place. I said, oh, we missed that schizophrenic part of war. Then we switched to Melissa at the house. Veronica come in. She like, oh, hey, Melissa. Oh, hey, Veronica. She goes, is that your feet on my sofa? Melissa got her feet off the couch so quick. All right. She goes, so how did your parents take the news? She's like, oh, they're fine with it. I'm guessing she's talking about telling them that she's getting married. And she's like, about that. No, she goes, is Jeffrey here? She goes, no, he's not. She was like, well, I'll call him. She goes, that's really okay. She's like, don't you want to see your future husband? She goes, about that. He doesn't want me, right? She goes, child, many men don't know what they want. She was like, she's like, what did she say? Then did it come right in that order? Something like shave the stubble on your legs. You need to shave or something. She's like, I do shave. She goes, every day. Men don't like stubble. And then she goes, and dear, you might not want to nag and try so hard. It's very annoying. Men find that to be very annoying. Yeah, Veronica, you would know. All right, you would know. And then she's like, actually, I wanted to talk to you. She goes, my father's medical bills? She's like, yeah. She goes, you didn't pay them this month. She goes, no, I didn't. She goes, why? She goes, well, maybe because you're not making any progress with my son. And I want to go back for a second. I'm sorry. When she says the stubble on men don't like stubble on the legs, she was like, yeah, maybe if I grew it on my face. And then Veronica's like, excuse me, Melissa? She goes, oh, nothing. She goes, well, dear, if you would like to have something to say to me, now's the time because I'm prepping for this judge in the morning and I'm in full BITCH mode. So if you have anything to say, she's like, no, I don't have anything to say. Smart move, Melissa, smart move. So she goes, well, maybe once you make some progress, I'll pay your father's medical bills. So if I were you, I'd get on that. She goes, okay, good night. She goes, not good night, dear. Shave night. I was like, I'm done. So Melissa gets up and walks away. By the way, girl, she was in the hips. I said, okay, sis. Represent for the sisters. But the dress was too tight. I said, nah, sis. Nah. All right, just. So she's walking away. She goes, you're such a doll. You're such a shrub. And I'm like, Veronica, what is wrong with you? She just goes walking up the stairs. She's like, progress needs to be made and this, that, and the third. All right. And then I'll pay your father's medical bills. And then she goes, and dear, wash off that perfume. It reeks. She goes, this is the perfume that you gave me. She goes, well, it's not doing well with your scent. Wipe it off. Like, it's atrocious. And she goes, and I did not give you that perfume, dear. Why would my son want to smell his mother? She goes, you're right. You didn't give it to me. I'm sorry about that. She goes, yeah. Now get upstairs and just all this. So then she calls Jeffrey. She's like, Jeffrey, it's your mother. Where are you? Why aren't you returning my phone call? Like, you should have been here. Hurry up and get home. So then she hangs up. She gets on the laptop. We find out there were flowers. There was a camera in the flowers that Veronica gave to Erica. So she's coming in. So she opens up the laptop. And at first I'm like, what the heck is this? Didn't y'all think she had a camera set up? like in the bathroom or something upstairs so she could see what Jeffrey and Melissa are doing. I was like, but then I was like, I don't know. And then she goes, he had you move the flowers out of the room. And I'm like, what is she talking about? Then I'm like, oh snap, David was right. She had the camera in the flowers, but she was like, don't worry, dear, I'll get you. And I believe she will. So Erica better be on the lookout. Erica better be on the lookout. All right. Then we switch to Hannah at the police station. She looks like she's gonna go in and turn them in, but if she flashes back to what War, like the scene with War, and then she drives off. So that's the last time we see Hannah. So then we switch to Wyatt. He's going through withdrawal. The first person to enter the apartment is, Justin, because he's a cop. So he's got the gun and stuff. He's going through the apartment. He walks over to Quita and the guy on the bed. And he's like, hey, get up. And they was like, oh, snap. Like they was busted, He goes, Quita Maxwell? He goes, I know you. And he's like, get on the floor. And then he tells Jeffrey to come over and cuff him. Okay, and then, so Jeffrey's like, okay, he cuffs them, and then Wyatt's calling him. He's like, Jeffrey. And he goes over to Wyatt. And, Jeffrey's like, man, what the heck is going on? What's happening? What? He's like, man, they tried to rob me. He's like, what? He like, man, it's Quita like, man, he lying. He invited us over here. And then so the dude is like, yeah, he was just strolling through the hood looking for some drugs and stuff. Justin is like, be quiet, whatever. This officer, if you even think about running, because he called for backup. So he's like, there's an officer like 20 seconds up the stairs. If you even think about running, I'll tase the mess out of you. And she's like, ain't nobody gonna run. So they leaving. So then Jeffrey, so he's like, sorry, calm down. Okay. Jeffrey is like, how do they know where you live? What the heck? Like, what is this? And he goes, they like held me at gunpoint and got me here. And he's like, they got me here and they tried to rob me. They were going to take all my money. And so Justin is like seeing, because then Jeffrey's like, they could have killed you. And Wyatt is like, would that be so bad? And then Jeffrey's like, you know what? I don't have time for this. I'm not going to do it. He's like, no, Jeffrey said, he's like, I told you to call these people. He remember the sponsor? He told Wyatt, you need to call somebody because I can't help you. And so he's like, nah, man, I can't call them. He's like, come on, man. I know you love me. Can you just help me out? And like, just stay, man. Just stay. And Jeffrey's like, nah, man, I can't do this. I gotta go. So Justin is peeping all this. Like, he's looking at it. He gets like crazy jealous. And he goes over and like shoves Wyatt, and he like gets Jeffrey up. He's like, get away from him. And so he's like, you're a junkie. He's like, so you were strolling through the hood looking for drugs, huh? He's like, Justin, what the heck are you doing? He's like, shut up. He's like, so you're a junkie? Are you admitting to me that you went for drugs? Wyatt is like, nah, like, he was like, so you tell me if I search this whole apartment, I'm not going to find drugs. Jeffrey's like, no, you're not searching the apartment. Justin's like, get off of me. And then he's talking to him. He's like, so, sir, you were going for drugs. Then he gets on the radio. He's like, yeah, somebody just admitted to actually getting the drugs. Those two are clean. Just let them go. And then he goes, I hope those two come back here and finish the job. And Jeffrey's like, what the heck is wrong with you? And then he's like, next time you want me to do a favor for one of your friends, let me know who it is. He's like, I didn't tell you to come here. He's like, yeah, because you didn't want me to see this. You're in love with him and you're using me. He's like, I'm not using you. He's like, what are you talking? Like, what's going on? Jeffrey was so confused as to what was going on. And so Justin is just like, let's go, Jeffrey. Like, we're leaving. Like, he's owned him or something. And Jeffrey's like, I'm not going anywhere. Like, this is my friend. He was like, oh, your friend. He's like, I'm gonna break it down for you right now. It's either him or it's me. And Jeffrey's like, are you really doing this right now? He was like, it looked like I'm doing it. So they start pushing each other like they fighting. He's like, okay, come on, let's go. He was like, you want to fight? So they fighting and stuff like that. Next thing you know, Wyatt is like, what the heck is going on? Because he asking Jeffrey, he's like, who is this dude? Because he acted so weird. Like, what is he talking about? So he starts shoving Jeffrey around. Like, he's shoving Wyatt. Next thing you know, Wyatt get up off the couch. He's like, hey, stop. So they both trying to get Justin. He get Wyatt out the way because, he going through withdrawal. So he, like, slam Wyatt to the... He bring Wyatt over the shoulder and, like, throw him down. Jeffrey and him fight. He like, why would you put your hands on... They fighting and stuff. They fighting. He headbutt Jeffrey. Like, he going in. Next thing you know, Wyatt gets back up, goes for Justin. So Justin and Wyatt are, like, rolling around. Jeffrey get the gun because the gun fell out of like the holster or something, Justin's holster. He gets the gun and he's aiming it at Justin, the officer, his partner, whatever. The cop comes upstairs and is like, put the gun down now. Then you hear a gunshot. Next week on the Haves and the Have-Nots. So what they tease, Jeffrey did not get shot. And Justin is not shot either, so I don't know if maybe they just shot one in the air or something. But I was like, what the heck is this? Like, a fight just broke out between all three of them. I'm like, what? This is cray-cray. You know? So this was a good episode, y'all. Let me know what y'all thought. I ain't gonna keep it too long because this is already 40 minutes. This is longer than I wanted to go. Thank you so much for watching. Yes, I'm actually on time this week. I will see you guys next week. Once again, thank you so much for watching. It is your girl, J. Peace.